The Soul Kings Military Unleashed, Part 4. So, recap. Brief run of the Spiritual National Guard. But I want to read off the enlisted personnel of the Army to you, and then give you what the entirety of the Navy setup, as well as the Marine Corps setup will be. I'm going to close the video out. So, recap on the Spiritual National Guard, which I covered in Part 1 and Part 2. The Spiritual National Guard is essentially the Perfect Love Infantry 9, consisting of the 6 single-word awareness questions, the simultaneous talk technique, the Love Expression Series, and/or the Logical Affection Virus, as well as the Brighter Days soundtrack, Soul Battle Rapping, the Fitness Gospel Movement, as well as and/or the Fitness Gospel Movement, or FGM, as well as the Wrestling with Tribes for Peace. That's one entire strategy right there, or one entire idol. Two things in one, in other words, and that comes at E6. Number 7, the Church and Mosque Domination Force. Number 8, the Annihilation of Fear series, and/or the Spiritual not the Annihilation of Fear, that's the next one. The Spiritual Reawakening is number 8, and then number 9 is the Annihilation of Fear series. That idol right there. And those 9 specific idols, or those 9 tactics, spiritual techniques, so to speak, they are all going to be invading to destroy the negative 9 belief system pillars, or the 9 negative belief system pillars, which are racism, feminism, foul sexual orientation, the nerd geek culture, the gangsters, the tribes, the religions, ignorance itself, and fear itself. When racism is destroyed, it'll become greed. When feminism is destroyed, it'll become jealousy. When the foul sexual orientation and/or the LGBTQ community's belief system is destroyed, it'll become vanity. And then when the nerd geek culture's belief system pillar is destroyed, it'll become sloth. The foul principality sends sloth. And then unto the tribes. When the tribes, or when the gangs are destroyed, it becomes wrath. And when the tribes are destroyed, it becomes lust and/or decomposure. And then when after the tribes comes the religions. When the religions are destroyed, it becomes gluttony. And when after the religions comes ignorance, and after ignorance is destroyed, it becomes the devil's standard and/or the devil's attainments over the world today. Ignorance is the devil's achievement over the world today. Ignorance is the devil's achievement over the world today. And the dumber you are, the longer you stay in this hell. You want to get out of hell, stop being stupid. And then the final one, 9. Fear itself. When fear is annihilated, it becomes the devil driver. What is driving humanity into a state of stupidity and ignorance, and hitting themselves and disturbing themselves over and over again. Non-stop. And then the Spiritual Army Parable recap. Just the enlisted personnel, and I'm going to move on to the next one. They are the 9 fragrant principality virtues, which will be targeting and/or purging and/or destroying the 9 foul principality sins. The 9 fragrant principality virtues versus the 9 foul principality sins. You follow what I'm saying? Soul asceticism being the first one, targeting greed, turning it into the enemy regulation force, exploitation, which will be what I'm getting ready to cover in the next military explanation parable. And then the second one being soul stoicism, the soul stoicism virtue, targeting lust, to reveal classification, the enemy regulation force classification. The soul discipline virtue, destroying gluttony, to turn it into elicitation or provoking. And then E4, the soul pride virtue versus vanity, turning it into the enemy regulation force aggravation. These foul principality sins, they have to derive from somewhere, right? They are coming from somewhere. We were not born with the desires to destroy ourselves for no reason. We were not born with the desires to enslave ourselves. We were not born with these desires. Think about the first 5 years of your life, if you would. How much did you want to hurt someone? How much did you want to destroy yourself? How much did you hate yourself? The programming starts on all of us at a very young age. Why are children bad when they shouldn't be? Do you see how out of hand children are? Why are they so out of hand? They shouldn't be. Moving forward. E4. The soul pride virtue will be targeting vanity to turn it into enemy aggravation. The soul tranquility virtue, targeting soul wrath, or targeting the foul principality sin wrath, turning into the enemy regulation force agitation. E6, soul ambition virtue, targeting sloth, turning into the enemy regulation force humiliation. And then E7, the soul contentment virtue, targeting the foul principality sin jealousy, turning into the enemy regulation force frustration. E8, the soul standard and/or the spiritual reincarnation, acceptance of the soul standard. That's what this part is going to be for the spiritual army. The spiritual army consists of the 9 fragrant principality virtues. That's the spiritual army right there. And they're going to be targeting the 9 foul principality sins to destroy them and turning them into what they're going to be next. Evil just can't be put down immediately. It takes some time. It takes some time to put evil down. I get a sense that you're all beginning to see this now. It's going to take some serious time to put this evil, in which is plagiarizing our world, down. Did you notice every time that we speak on any form of what evil is doing, we are classified as racist, crazy, or anti-Semites? Did you notice that? You want to know why they just say you're racist if you point out what they do? To shame you out of talking about what they do. Because the more you reveal the truth regarding what they do, the more you gain the power to destroy their abilities to be able to continue doing it. If that makes sense to you. This is why they call us everything they call us. Deflections, distractions, deviations, thwarting, frustration. That's literally what the word is, to frustrate. To stop you from achieving something. E7 again. The soul contentment virtue. Purge target, the foul principality sin jealousy. Domination force and/or outcome of objectives. The enemy regulation force frustration. Frustration. The word frustrate. If you think it defines as to annoy or make you angry to some degree, you're right. But that's just one of the subheading meanings. What the word frustrate actually means is to stop someone from achieving something, or to prevent something moving in a certain direction from being able to do so any longer. Why would this here group of people that do what they do, or whatever is pushing them to do what they do, why is it doing so? Primarily out of jealousy, or at least on the surface level, spiritually surface level. Yeah, there's a spirit surface level and a core surface level to the spirit. There's a core and a surface to everything, even to the soul's information. You want to know why I say there's a surface and a core to the soul's information? Because the word soul, we don't even need to use it to label and describe this here power. We don't need any of these words to label and describe this here power. We don't. What words will we use to label and describe it? Honestly, we don't even necessarily need to. We just need to know what it is and walk within it. If that makes sense to you. For example, if you know something is only going to do something good to you, how much do you need to keep talking about it? Just let it do what it's doing and you live your life. It's going to do something good no matter what. Good things that will only do good things are very predictable. Miracles are predictable. Miracles and what they do are something that you can expect. Because the energy of a miracle is something positive, pure, and balanced, all in once. All in one. If that makes sense to you. E8. Invasion force, the soul standard, and/or the spiritual reincarnation, acceptance of the soul standard. A very predictable standard. One that's just going to be good all the time. But we also have to use and/or tap into the balanced nature thereof to bring things back to normal. since those outside of us who want to keep it abnormal will call you racist or anti-Semitism or stupid or crazy if you want to bring your life back to normal. Who wants to be normal, right? All of your little jokes that you make about it. All that laughing you do whenever anything speaks any type of proper truth in regards to the situation that we are all in. The soul standard will be targeting the devil standard to destroy it and return it to the enemy regulation force of disrespect in which it is. And then finally E9, and I'm going to go to the next one. The soul courage virtue, targeting the devil driver itself to become the enemy regulation force extortion. And now, the Soul King's Military Entrenchment Saga Part 3 of 9. Stage, the Super Soul Tribe family, uniting Black North and South America. Branch, the Spiritual Navy Parable, the Perfect Love Sailors. Facts, established October 13th, 1775, and is currently under the Department of Defense, which was established 1789. But I've also done some research on the Navy, and I found out that it also is its own department as well. Or maybe it's just under the Department of Defense, who knows. You got multiple answers for everything out here. There's a reason for that too. For people like me who are trying to take the narrow road out of your hell, confuse him as well. And anybody else who tries to take this pathway. So, within the Spiritual Navy Parable, the invasion force will be titled the 9 Divine Visual Forces. The 9 Divine Visual Forces. Their purge targets, the 9 Enemy Regulation Forces. And then the Domination Force and/or Outcome of Objectives, the 9 Chakra System. I need you to know this. All of the information and all of everything within this world are artificial ethnic codings. Everything in this world is an artificial ethnic coding, including the chakras. Every form of religious belief only came out 5,000 years ago, or just came out 5,000 years ago. Information time now. So, as always, I'm going to have it lined up with the enlisted personnel idols, warrant officer idols, and commissioned officer idols, and I'm going to read them all off to you real fast. So, swimming in at E1, the Soul Seaman Recruit, or SR's Rank Chapter Invasion Force, titled the Divine Ethereal Vision. Its invasion force is titled the Divine Ethereal Vision. Now, I said in my previous video that this entire military, its foundation is this here 9 chakra system. And as I go through it, I'm going to reveal the 9 chakra system to you. But then I also made some videos before talking about these here 9 divine visual forces. And I have changed the order up slightly. I'm going to explain to you what the order is as I'm going through the reading. So E1, the Soul Seaman Recruit, or SR's Rank Chapter Invasion Force, titled the Divine Ethereal Vision. Purge target, the Enemy Regulation Force Exploitation. And once it destroys it, it becomes the domination force known as the Root Chakra. Moving along. E2, the Soul Seaman Apprentice, SA's Rank Chapter Invasion Force, the Divine Astral Vision. Purge target, Enemy Regulation Force Classification. Outcome, the Sacral Chakra. You see where I'm going with this? Now I'm just getting ready to line up the foundation for what it really is for the personnel, so to speak, before I go on to the next thing. Now at A3, the Soul Seaman, or SN's Rank Chapter Invasion Force, the Divine Dimensional Vision. Purge target, Enemy Regulation Force, Provoking or Elicitation. Outcome of objective or Domination Force, the Solar Plexus Chakra. Now see, before I had the Dimension Vision lined up for the Root Chakra, but I switched it up because it makes more sense to put the Ethereal Vision as the Root Chakra's aspect and put the Dimensional Vision as the Solar Plexus Chakra's aspect. And then the Astral Vision, because of all the recent studying I've just done, the Astral Vision or the Astral Mind step in, it's all connected to the Sacral Chakra's information. All of the astral views are connected to the Sacral Chakra's information. And when I get to the 114 chakra system information, I'm going to tell you more so about that. So, Now for the non-commissioned officer idols. I just read you off the enlisted personnel idols, and now here the non-commissioned officer idols are. At E4, the Soul Petty Officer, 3rd Class, or PO3's Rank Chapter Invasion Force, the Divine Frequency Vision, Purge Targets, Enemy Regulation Force, Aggravation, Domination Force, the Heart Chakra. I kept some of it the same though, but just those bottom 3 I changed up slightly. E5, the Soul Petty Officer, 2nd Class, or PO2's Rank Chapter Invasion Force, the Divine Descriptive Vision, Purge Target, Enemy Regulation Force, Agitation, Domination Force, the Throat Chakra. Descriptive Vision, the Divine Descriptive Vision goes to the Throat Chakra. After destroying the agitation thereof and revealing the Throat Chakra, which is also, unfortunately, still is an artificial ethnic coding. Even the chakras information are artificial ethnic coding. How can I say this, or how do I know this? Because they are telling us that our spiritual powers can be imbalanced. No, they cannot. The only thing that can be imbalanced is the vessel and or the vehicle in which the spirit is driving. The spirit and the soul cannot be touched. The only thing that can be touched is what the spirit soul is wearing. You. Moving forward. At E6, the Soul Petty Officer, 1st Class, PO1's Rank Chapter Invasion Force, the Divine Moral Vision, the Divine Moral Vision, Purge Target, Enemy Regulation Force, Humiliation, Domination Force, the 3rd Eye Chakra. Only trust and respect with your inner crown spirit eye what's good, beautiful, normal, and natural of your inner soul heart. Your soul is all for peace, respect, balance, and progression. And through the soul, it manifests peace, love, unity, and advancement, and what's good, beautiful, normal, and natural, all concomitantly. Now for the senior non-commissioned officer idols. Turn your eye to that energy and spectate it. And once you do so, duplicate it. At E7, we have the Soul Chief Petty Officer, CPO's Rank Chapter Invasion Force, the Divine Commonness or Divine Common Sense Vision. Common Sense. That's one of my favorite artists right there. His messages don't involve too much end your life because I want to impress somebody. They just involve love yourself. Common puts words in his music such as find heaven in yourself and God. And then he says it over and over again. Find heaven in yourself and God, y'all. In yourself. Listening to Common's music can teach you a lot about yourself if you take some time to listen to it. At E8. E8, the Soul Senior Chief Petty Officer, SCPO's Rank Chapter Invasion Force, the Divine Quantum Vision. Purge Target, the Enemy Regulation Force Disrespect. Outcome of Objective, the Soul Star Chakra. And or. I'm going to get to that next. I almost skipped the part. The Divine Quantum Vision. Purge Target, the Enemy Regulation Force Disrespect. Domination Force, the Soul Star Chakra. And at E9, a lot of ranks here. The Soul Master Chief Petty Officer, MCPOs, Soul Command Master Chief Petty Officer, CMPOs, Soul Fleet or Force Master Chief Petty Officer, which is 2 of them, FLTMPO or FORCMPOs. It's a lot of ranks there. I told you I'm only using the ranks because I desire to steal the soul's people from the devil's people. And then eventually force sheathe the devil's people. Moving forward. And Soul Master Chief Petty Officer of the Spiritual Navy. MCPON's Rank Chapter Invasion Force. The Divine Standard Vision. That's what it is. Purge Target, the Enemy Regulation Force Extortion, to become the domination force known as the Earth Star Chakra. We're getting ready to head into the physical world, if you're following along with this parable. Put the soul before the rank, and put the spirit before the branch. Moving forward. So, Warrant Officer Idols. At W1, the Soul Warrant Officer I1's rank chapter, the Sense of Smell. CW2, the Soul Chief Warrant Officer I2's rank chapter, the Sense of Taste. CW3, the Soul Chief Warrant Officer I3's rank chapter, the Sense of Sight. Remember, in the Warrant Officers, there is no domination force, no invasion force, or there's just what they are. And at CW4, the Soul Chief Warrant Officer I4's rank chapter, the Sense of Feeling. Feeling is an emotional state or reaction, isn't it? Did you know love defines as an intense feeling of deep affection? Affection is a gentle feeling, another feeling, gentle feeling of fondness or liking, right? An intense feeling of a deep, gentle feeling of fondness or liking. An intense feeling of a deep, gentle feeling of fondness or liking. And the feeling is an emotional state or reaction. So what do you call an intense, gentle emotional state or an intense, gentle reactional state? What do you call that? I call it the air, me personally, because the spirit is air. So that means the spirit is love. Moving forward. At CW5, the Soul Chief Warrant Officer I5's rank chapter, the Sense of Hearing. Moving along. Now for the Commission Officer Idols. The Junior Grade Officer Idols. At 01, the Soul Ensigns, or Ensigns, ENS's rank chapter, Domination Force. Remember, when we get here, it's just strictly Domination Force on the leadership part. This one you may find interesting. At 01, the Soul Ensigns ENS, or the abbreviation ENS's rank chapter domination force, the definition of Kabbalah and Sapphirot. The definition of Kabbalah and Sapphirot. That's what the domination force for the leadership or the oceanic leadership within my Soul King's military entrenchment is going to be. The Kabbalah itself. Kabbalistic leadership. That's what's going to be in this military here. Kabbalistic leadership. Here, I got more. At 02, the Soul Lieutenant Junior Grade, or LTJG's rank chapter domination force, titled Gevurah, or Din, which means justice. Most of this is just characteristical ideals and characteristical idols. You follow what I'm saying? At 03, the Soul Lieutenant LT's rank chapter domination force, Had Sapphirot. The Had Sapphirot, which means splendor. Had means splendor. The Had Sapphirot talks about splendor. What is a Sapphirot? A Sapphirot is emanations. That's what the word means, emanations. But it also had another definition, meaning the number or order of things. That's also what it meant. Just go look up the words and define them. That's what 03 is. The Soul Lieutenant. And Kabbalah means acceptance or tradition. It has many definitions. It does. The word Kabbalah does. But I saw acceptance in its Greek origin, and I also heard that it meant tradition by definition. Moving forward. So, the Soul Lieutenant LT's RC, Domination Force. RC means rank chapter. Had, Sapphirot, meaning splendor. Now the mid-grade officer idols. At 04. The Soul Lieutenant Commander, or LCDR's domination force. The Tiferet Sapphirot. The names are still kind of hard to pronounce. But the Tiferet Sapphirot, which means beauty. I have a lot more coming with the Kabbalah's 10 Sapphirots in the future. A lot more. I really want you to get it. But all it really does at the end of the day is just label and describe how to walk with perfect character. That's all it really tells you at the end of the day. Is how to walk with perfect character. 05, the Soul Commander, CDR's rank chapter invasion force. Not invasion force, but domination force. Rank chapter domination force, Netzah, Sapphirot, meaning eternity. And then you have, at 06, the Soul Captain, or CAPT's rank chapter and domination force. The Hesed Sapphirot, or Hesed Sapphirot, which means mercy. But in my opinion, mercy means balance. There is no mercy in the world like this. Mercy is a lie, to me personally. You don't have to see it as a lie. I really don't want you to adorn any bad habits of mine, especially the anger I have for this fake world that we are all forced to grow up in and live in. Don't harbor that anger. Please do not. Moving forward. Now for the flag officer idols is what they're called in the Navy. At 07, The Sole Rear Admiral Lower Half, or RDML's Rank Chapter Domination Force, the Yesod Sapphire-Rot, meaning Foundation. At 08, the Sole Rear Admiral Upper Half, RADM's Rank Chapter Domination Force, the Malkuth Sapphire-Rot, meaning God's presence in the world. There's also one called the Shekinah, I believe, or Shekinah. There's Malkuth and Shekinah Sapphire-Rot. At 09, the Sole Vice Admiral, or VADM's Rank Chapter Domination Force. I got two of them right here, two different Sapphire-Rots in one space right here for my parable to work. Why? Because I believe the Father is the Son, as the Son is the Father, or at least in a spiritual sense, or based on the information of what the energies label and describe, how they behave, so to speak. They behave, how the energies behave. I believe that these following two Sapphire-Rots are one and the same being. The Kether Sapphire-Rot and the Hokman Sapphire-Rot, or Hokmah, Hokmah, Kether. It's like ether with a K at the beginning of it. It's the word ether with a K at the beginning of it. Kether and the Hokmah Sapphire-Rots. Kether means supreme crown. Hokmah means wisdom. Put them together, you got crown wisdom, or supreme crown wisdom. 010, the Sole Admiral, ADM's Rank Chapter Domination Force. I have Da'ath, D-A-A-T-H, listed here, Da'ath Sapphire-Rot. When you look at some of the lists, they don't count that one, but I'm going to count that one. So it's technically 11 Sapphire-Rots, even though by me combining Kether and Hokmah, it still makes 10. You follow what I'm saying? Moving forward. Da'ath Sapphire-Rot means knowledge. This means knowledge. Notice how all of these Sapphire-Rot's emanations are labeling and describing your divine characteristical traits. And notice how in the enlisted personnel, I have the divine visual forces that are targeting the enemy regulation forces. You'll get it. Rolling in at 010. The Sole Admiral, I said that, Da'ath. Now for the first special one, there's two special ones. I have the Sole Fleet Admiral, or FADM's Rank Chapter Domination Force, the Binah Sapphire-Rot, meaning understanding. Binah, B-I-N-A-H. And then the last one, Special 2, the 6-star rank. Those were all from 07 to from 07 to the Special 2, they're all star ranks. 07 1-star, 08 2-star, 09 3, 10 4, Special 1 5, and now the Special 2 6. The 6-star, the Sole Admiral of the Navies, of the Sole Admiral of the Spiritual Navies, ADM's Rank Chapter Domination Force, Insof. Insof. I really want to say that name correctly, but Insof means infinite source. Yeah, I have listed for my spiritual admiral, or my Sole Admiral of the Spiritual Navies, the literal infinite source itself. That's what I have listed. So in other words, your military, your spiritual Navy parable military, will also have Insof as a leader within it, meaning the infinite source as a leader. If my phone doesn't cut off on me again, I'm going to read now of the Soul King Military Entrenchments Sagas Part 4 of 9. Stage, the Cosmic Soul Tribe family, uniting all of Black North America and South America with Africa. So uniting all the melanated people of Africa, all those with visible melanin skin in North America, all those with visible melanin skin in South America, all uniting to become one Cosmic Soul Tribe family again. 3 continents worth of fully melanated people with visible soul skin. Why do I keep targeting people with visible soul skin to unite more than the other species does? Because they are already united. They're already united. Worldwide they are. You want to know where they're united at? They're united on a front that causes the destruction of lives, innocent people. But see, once you point it out, immediately it becomes, oh, you're racist, or you're stupid, or you're evil, or you're Semitism. I'm just pointing out what's obviously happening. How much longer do you want to keep defending evil? But at any rate, Branch, the Spiritual Marine Corps parable. You devil dogs. This was going to be a fun one here, actually. This one's going to be an actual fun one to talk about here for me personally. Facts. Established November 10th, 1775, and currently under the Department of the Navy, which was established on the 10th month, or the 10th month, on the 13th day within the 1775th year of this here Gregorian calendar that we are all within. Pope Gregory III. Before that was the Julius Caesar calendar. I'm going to tell you this, I'm going to close the video and I'm going to do it the next one. I'm going to make 2 videos. So the invasion force for the Seoul Marine Corps will be titled The 9-Dimensional Base Indoor Sword Form Parable. The purge targets will be called the 9 Chakra System. Remember, the only thing that is not fake is you. You magnificent so-called human being you. You are literally magnificent. You are literally extraordinary. You are literally outstanding. You are literally fabulous. Not the rapper. Just what the word means. The 9-Dimensional Base Indoor Sword Form Parable purge targets the 9 Chakra System, which is artificial ethnic information, which is what they are using to make us docile and weak. And then the domination force indoor outcome of objectives will be the 9-Dimensional Base Indoor Sword Form. First comes the parable, then comes the form. And from there, we're going to be doing a whole lot of enlightening. I am the God of enlightenment. And when I finish this here military unleashed, you're going to see how so. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Next video, I will cover the spiritual Marine Corps. This one was the spiritual Navy. Through the spirit, the soul breathes. Peace, love, unity, and advancement to you all, my family.